Thank you all for tuning in to
Hey,
another
happy
Showtime
days.
and Kev podcast. I'm Cory Showtime.
I'm Kevin Munroe.
And our special guest, one of the Deaf Puppies himself, all the way from Modesto, out here in LA, making a name for himself, Mr. Saul Trujillo. How you doing, player?
Hey, thanks guys thanks for having me, man.
Thank you for coming. I'm sorry it couldn't be under a little happier circumstances.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When you invited me, I'm like, hell yeah. And then I saw that Kobe died. I was like, oh, Corey.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I didn't plan any of that. Like, I was just like, hey, come on the show tomorrow.
What, do you plan Kobe's death? Is that
No,
what-
I would never do that. I would never do that. It's if in case you guys haven't heard, if you haven't,
He can't even get it out.
yeah. I'm choked up, literally choked up. In case you haven't heard, I don't know how you're paying attention to us right now because you don't have a phone. But it's a sad day here in the city of Los Angeles. We lost Kobe Bryant and unfortunately his daughter and 7 other people in a plane crash over Calabasas today.
well, helicopter. crash.
Helicopter.
Yeah, excuse me, helicopter. Yeah.
But I mean, Kobe was notorious for taking helicopters because he didn't want to deal with LA traffic. You know, which is like, you know,
Didn't he
if-
have his own helicopter? Was that
that
it
was,
his
yeah,
helicopter?
that was
his
his.
Yeah.
It was his.
$100 million contracts make that very possible.
Yeah.
I mean, and he had a contract with the Ritz Carlton that he would park his helicopter like on the top of the Ritz Carlton, and then he'd go like
Just
you know
walk
do
to
shoot
Stapleton.
around, and walk do the shoot around. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, I've been in LA
It
traffic.
sounds bougie, but that's pretty efficient.
Yo, if I had that money, I would take a helicopter too, man. I've been on the 405. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, real talk. He must be. He died like a Bond villain, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just
Wow,
saying.
that
that's
is
good
yes.
money.
No, I'm not
Good
disagreeing
money.
at all. That is a very accurate assessment. Yes, like
Like that's
like a drug dealer. Yeah, like I'm in my helicopter flying over just one random bad wind. But yeah,
right. It's just-
as a Laker fan, I am crushed. It's truly sad. But you know what really can you do? You know?
I'm a Kings fan too, and I still am like, man, you gotta show respect to the other king. You know,
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
right.
Yeah.
Wait, you're a Sacramento Kings fan?
Yeah.
He's
I'm
from Sac.
Yeah,
Or the
I'm like
Sac
that area,
Yeah.
in that bubble. So that's where the Kings fans or the Warriors fans. You're one or the other.
And I respect you for being a Kings fan amidst
all of
all
it,
the,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah. The ups and the downs.
I mean, as impressive as the Warriors are, I'm like, I'm not just gonna.
That's not my squad.
Yeah, it's not my
I
squad,
feel you.
dude.
I
Yeah.
feel you.
Man, okay. Well, as a Kings fan, I mean, I don't want to get into the details of what's going on with the Kings right now. I mean,
I don't even know. I'm not watching. That's how
I don't,
bad
bl-
it is.
and I don't blame you.
I mean,
Is it a high school squad? I think
it's
it's
close.
happening. Yeah.
It's
There's
close.
there are definitely some teenagers in your starting 5.
I mean, we traded a Warriors like starter to the Kings. For
Okay.
a minute, and so he's like one of their primary shooters.
Yeah.
I mean, but that doesn't say very much.
Who's the Warrior starter? Who trade?
Okay.
You can't even- see, here's the thing.
Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes.
Okay, I was gonna say he's not important. And you traded someone. You traded someone
He's
not,
not
important.
important.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we just got rid of Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah.
Okay, like that's one of like the best shooters, like forwards in the game, and we're just stanking now. Fuck tanking, we're stanking.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
we don't
man.
give a
Can
fuck.
I ask any of you Laker haters, do you have a favorite Kobe moment? If you say the plane crash, the helicopter crash, I will punch you in the fucking head.
Wow. By the way,
That
it's
would be
pretty
so ice
recent.
cold though. That would be so ice cold. Like
It would, and so would this left.
Oh my god.
oh, that would
He
be
be-
so
he-
ice
he-
cold.
Wham! Right before you hit him, Kobe, because you
right.
know it's landing.
Shooting, always shooting.
Right. Stay shooting. No. Kobe 81 is one of my favorite. I watched that like 10,000 times, and it's so great because it's one of those like water boiling things.
Yeah.
Where it's like they were losing at the end of the first half. Like Toronto had them, right? And so he's like, I just gotta
Kobe
go out
got
and
the
score.
eye of the tiger, starts sticking to that
And-
bottom teeth out.
And you just hear like the voice of the commentators like, well, that's 70, okay. like they were like, what the fuck are we dealing with right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was
So
amazing.
that was and it wasn't like he was just showing off. Like he was trying to win the game. And the commentary that comes from the cat that does Jacob and Jacoby, like he was in the game. He played for the Raptors, and he was like, "Yo, this dude is just
Oh, you
going
mean
off."
Jalen and Jacoby?
Yeah, Jalen. Yeah.
Oh, Jalen Rose.
Yeah, Jalen Rose.
I was just about to say the thing I remember most about that game was Jalen Rose's face. Because, like, he didn't get 81 on him, but there was a solid 25 where Jay was just
Yeah,
He's like, I can't do shit. Like I touched the ball that time. He still scored.
Yeah. So that 81 where it just started boiling on them and realizing that, oh shit, this dude is just gonna do whatever it takes. He's gonna score all over us. And by 70, they were like, okay, we got nothing. And then when he hit 80 and 81 with those last 2 free throws, like I was like, this is one of the greatest dudes ever to play the game.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
flat out.
He could have scored 9. I mean, oh my God. Do you think at any point in time he could have scored more, like in the hundreds? Like if he would have been like not gotten hurt. Or
If the
like
Lakers were any worse than they were in like 2005, then he would have shot 100 shots in a game. So he would at least have 104 points.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he would have tried.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
if they were like 20, if they had ever got to a point where they were like 15 and like 50 something, Kobe would just like, fuck y'all.
At some point, they were
I'm
the
not
Los
passing the ball
Angeles,
at all.
the Los Angeles Kobe Bryants.
Yeah.
Featuring the Lakers.
The Los Angeles Kobe Bryant.
Like, and they were pretty goddamn bad with it was Chris Mim and Kwame Brown and Smush Parker.
Shout out to Smush Parker.
No, not even a shout
You're
out to
stating
Smush
that like
Parker.
you're remembering a nightmare, dude.
It
Like-
was, man. Like, you're a Kings fan. You know what bad years
Oh
are
my
like.
God.
When those years and you just like, click.
Like my favorite player of all time is a King. Like that's how much of a King. Mitch Richmond is my
Oh,
favorite.
yeah.
Of
Okay,
all
yeah,
time,
okay.
Man. The Rock, man.
Yeah, respect. You know, didn't he play for the Warriors too?
Yeah, he started with the Warriors.
He started with the Warriors.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there, like
I think we had him too at some point. We had him at the
I mean, he
very
was
end.
you had him old, you know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's fine. We had him in his prime years.
You can always use a shooter.
yeah.
I mean, for me, like Vlade Divac, you know, is
Oh,
always
man.
gonna be, like,
We've all
time.
had. We're all Eskimo
everybody's
brothers.
had that.
We're Eskimo brothers with the same 2 last players. We've all had Vlade Divac.
But-
Well, you didn't, but
I don't like him, but I respect his game and I respect. what
That's
he put out
Serbian,
there.
man. You don't really have my Kalu.
Floppe Divac,
Yeah, he's
man.
a floppe diva.
he played FIFA rules in basketball, and it worked. James Harden is taking it to a whole other level.
He was like holding his liver. He wouldn't even get hit in the liver. He was like, oh,
It's like my back. You fell forward.
but my back.
James Harden is like if like an accidental attorney was a basketball player. like he just finds like all kinds of loopholes and like little like things to like.
I saw
you know?
a meme of like James Harden the last couple games of his shooting totals from 3. It was like 2 for 18, 3 for 17, and somebody's like, look like tour dates. Like shit. My favorite Kobe memory is a game where he couldn't hit water falling out of a fucking bucket. It was game 7 of the 2010 finals. I remember where I was. It was San Jose. I was living in my homie's house. It was my last year in school, or I just graduated. And like we were sitting there, I was like literally ripping the fucking couch cushion out from underneath me, like just nervous, because he was like shooting those numbers, like 2 for 18, 2 for 19. It was garbage. I don't remember what he ended with, but I remember he had like 15 rebounds. He was playing crazy defense. He had like 4 or 5 blocks, and I remember at the end of the game when they won, like Artest was in the thing, the press conference, like, he passed me the ball. Kobe never passes me the ball.
Right. I remember Artest's response. I
Yeah.
don't remember the game.
I was
itself.
watching that
Okay.
whole game and like just seeing like Kobe needed help, and like there was a point when he was like, you know what, shooting isn't working. I'm gonna do something else, and it worked. And it was just like it's like Batman, like being you know what? If you handcuff me, I'm still fucking Batman. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna win this shit.
Well, that's
Right,
what makes you great, though.
Exactly.
Is recognizing that one night, the thing that you're known for, you're still great at defense. So let's just fucking
Yeah.
focus on that.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like there's
Yeah.
got to be another way I can help this team win. It's game 7. There is no tomorrow. We got to make this happen. And that signified Mamba mentality to me right there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we're gonna get this win somehow.
Yeah, not necessarily using the thing you're known for. I mean, so to me, he's one of the all-time greats. I mean, even though I'm not a Lakers fan, you know, gotta respect that.
You're a Dubs
Yeah.
fan?
Yeah, you know, I'm from the Bay. You know, gotta respect the Bay.
Okay.
As soon as everyone realized this was gonna be about sports, so like we had 10 people and then it went down to 2.
They're like, no,
Yeah, they're like, no thanks. There's no way.
Yeah,
But there's no way you can't talk about this right now, especially being 3 guys that understand or at least watch basketball at some point, or like just been grew up as males over the last 20 years. You're gonna have Kobe is in your lexicon. You know,
Yeah,
like,
even if you're out of the loop and like I don't really watch, but when a game's on, I'm like I'm gonna sit down
Yeah,
and watch
yeah.
like 20, 30 because I love the game. You know.
Right,
if you
right.
shoot like Chappelle shooting a condom into the fucking trash can, Kobe, like that's forever. Like
forgot about
that's
that bit,
never
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
like that's always gonna be ingrained in our society, you know, or in our lexicon or whatever. Like at least our generation.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta ask yourself, like, why do we care? I mean, people die all the time. Like, why do we care if somebody with this amount of celebrity dies? And the answer is, well, they represent something, right? They represent like, you know, ideals that we have about ourselves and about like, okay, hard work and about determination and about making something out of yourself. I mean, he went straight from high school to the NBA.
Yeah.
Right. I mean. And the other cats that didn't. I mean, Kwame Brown, Mike. I mean, those cats didn't do so well. You know,
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett did all right.
KG was
LeBron
cool.
James doing pretty damn well for himself.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, like,
I think no, Kyrie played 1 year.
yeah, he played 1 year at Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, cats that come out of that system and just like work relentlessly to get to where they want to get. You know, and work through injuries and stuff like that. Like it's not just sports. It's about like what kind of people are we? Like, you know. So
It really does represent like where were you when like a game happened, like like what you were describing. You know what I mean? Like whether you were with family or whether you're like this hardcore gambling addict and Kobe hit that shot and you're like, oh,
Shout out to
fuck.
Kabizi.
Yeah. Shout out to Kabir Singh.
you know Kabir Singh?
Yeah.
Oh, of course,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
we
of
all know
course.
Kabir.
Okay.
I have a Reno story where I just like I think we both lost 200 at the blackjack table and then I lost him and I was like, oh, he's gone, he's dead, I guess. I don't know.
No, he's not dead. But
He
he's
went
dead
somewhere,
To you
I
for the
don't know,
day.
yeah.
He went deeper into the depths of the casino.
Yeah.
I think he makes more money from gambling than from comedy. Like
Way more. Way more.
Yeah, but he's also probably losing more hair because of
way
gambling.
more. Way more.
Shout out to Kabizi. Like
Hardest working dude ever because he has to.
Gotta pay those debts, baby.
make it roll. Man, I went to a friend's bachelor party.
I'm just curious, do you shuffle your checks with your right hand or your left hand?
I went to a friend's bachelor party in Vegas, and we were like, okay, we hit the blackjack table, and we're like, all right, cool, we're gonna get some dinner, we're gonna go out to the clubs, and we left him there. We came back at like 4 a.m. He was still there, like, yo, I'm $800 down. I gotta get back.
Ooh,
Yeah.
And we're like, you've been here the whole time?
yeah. Scratching his neck, drinking free coffee. Now,
If I was
talk.
down $800 at the blackjack table, I would be drunk as fuck. 'Cause I'd be playing like maybe at the most $25 a hand. So that shit took me a minute. And
You
B,
got-
if I'm down, I'm.
No, but I was a gambling addict though, and I still am. I'm kind of dealing with it. So like that's why I was like talking about the stories with Kabir. So it's like I've been in that point where you're still talking about where I would gamble like 20 hours straight just at the table.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Word?
word, man.
I mean,
word.
but how do you keep that stamina, though?
It's not. It's a mental thing, man. It's a mental like I got it. You're
When do
you're
you
thinking of
pee?
you hold it a lot. And then you don't gotta go no more.
It's all
Yeah.
about holding pee. Okay.
Yeah. When you're down 650 and you don't got pee, your all bodily functions don't matter at that point. You gotta make money back, dude.
That is real talk.
He's like, I will hold this pee
Yeah.
for
This is
the
a
next
great
3
shift.
hours.
Let's talk about gambling addiction. I need to know. Because I'm one of those people, as soon as I lose $20, I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm going home. Like, I don't know how. Like Kevin said, how you even get the fortitude to be like, nah, I know I can beat this.
You don't. At that point, it's like I feel like you're either so bored with life or trying not to live life that you put off this fantasy, like, oh, I'm gonna be this gambling professional. Like I was trying to like play poker, and I was trying to like, and then like, but my problem was with just I loved action, man. I just loved blackjack. It was so fast,
Yeah.
and it was just like the best. So like the most I've been down, maybe like realistically, maybe 3,700.
Damn.
Yeah, and that's like I've seen people.
I've been down more than that to school.
Right, but you could rationalize having a student debt of $3,700, like having
Can I?
having a blackjack debt for $3,700.
At least the blackjack that would have been fun. Like,
Yeah, but it's not fun in the end. It becomes like a real gambling addict. Doesn't even like when they lose. You don't feel anything.
Oh.
You feel nothing at the end. You're just like, oh, that was a thing.
I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to not feel that.
So that happened to you, and your whole mindset was, I need to get this back.
Well, that sort of happened between, like, yeah, that's sort of like those different types of stories, whether it be blackjack or poker, happened between the ages of 18 to like 34. I'm 35 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's always been a thing, but it's like I've always had comedy help me out. You know what I mean? Like, I would just do more comedy, and then it'd be the mindset, and I would go to GA and stuff like that, and I've got a good, stable people with me now. Like, the Deaf Puppies help a lot. My girl helps a lot. So it's like stuff like that. I sort of, like, decided to gamble by coming to Los Angeles than just continuing to gamble at my, where
that makes
I'm
a
at.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
And
So you still gamble now?
No, it's been over a year.
No, he moved here. That was the gamble. That's
Oh,
let it
oh,
ride. I'm putting it all.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay,
just
got
like,
it,
let's
got it.
fucking, let's actually do something with comedy then.
Right.
Just be this road comic with a gambling addiction.
Well, I'm
Which
proud of you
that's
for-
that's what happens to a lot of road comics.
Oh,
is they
I'm-
develop alcoholism and a gambling addiction.
and all you play is casinos. I
Yeah.
totally get it. Yeah.
Oh.
you're just in
Yeah.
and out of that.
That
Yeah.
explains a lot. Like I've done
Yeah.
a lot of casino shows that are really sad because they just you ever do a show with a headliner and like you've done before and it's like, wow, you've done the exact same set, the exact same way every single time.
All they care about is that $300, $400 check.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
all they care about.
Yep.
Like you're not even reading the audience and nothing. Like you're just just going over the script in your head.
And they got that 45 minutes
Down, man.
down.
Yeah.
down pat to the
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, you could take a bathroom break and come back. No, by the time I come back, he's gonna be doing this bit, and he's gonna be winding up this. I did Wind River Casino in Reading.
Yeah,
You know?
dude, hell
You know
yeah.
Wind River
I
Casino?
headlined that
Yo,
bitch.
I have to.
headlined that
Shout out
bitch.
to Wind River, one of the
Shout out
places,
to Wind River Casino.
one of the few casinos that will headline us sad sacks.
Hell yeah, it's fun though.
It is a great time. It's not the people. It's usually the headliner you're paired with. It's
I've
like,
been there
oh,
as
God,
a
this
gambling
is
addict,
bad.
and I'm still a gambler. And I've been there gambling and not gambling. It's good when I'm not gambling. I'm there
Yeah.
with good people. I usually have a good feature who knows I got a problem. And they're like, let's just eat pizza and then smoke weed and and then just watch TV in the room. I'm like, all right, run that. Yeah.
Okay. But like you're sitting in the
Ooh.
stage is in the casino.
You hear that?
And
Ding, 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 ding,
you could hear like all the machines.
Yeah.
You can see people walking by, and
It's
you
like
could,
being a diabetic in a candy factory.
yo,
Not fair. Not fair.
it's messed up, man.
But see, the thing is, that whole environment is like, it's not in a good town. It's a meth town. Reading is a meth town.
No, that's not a disrespect.
No, it's what it is.
But
And
Reading is not a tourist destination by
Not
any
necessarily.
person's definition of that.
It's a great place to be if you're a trucker.
yeah. I leveled up there, and and then here's what they were preying on. They wanted the people to come, but what they did in the beginning of that comedy venue, I started as an opener and then worked my way up to headliner. Is in the beginning they would have me as an opener hand out $10 free slots. So they'd have to watch the show though. So it'd be 90 minutes of people just not just like, all right, let's get this show over with because I want to gamble to get that free $10 voucher.
Yeah.
So we would be bombing in front of people who don't even want to watch the show. They just want their $10.
Yeah, like they don't care. Like, oh yeah, that was funny. Hurry the fuck up, man.
And they'd
Come on.
only give us a certain amount. So most would get it, and then people, when I run out, they'd be like, "Where's my voucher?" Like, I don't know. Be like, "I watched that fucking thing for no reason." I'm like, "Oh man, thanks for that."
But you have to ask yourself, if you're willing to spend 90 minutes of your time for a $10 voucher, how valuable is your time anyway?
Hell yeah. It made me feel good as a comedian.
Time is
made
for
me feel
$10 for 90. What is that? What is 90 minutes into that's 10? I should know that math. Like
Yes.
hourly, that's like $7.50.
If you divide 90 minutes into, it's less than $7 an hour. So if you're mad at that, you have to ask yourself, how valuable is my time really?
Well, to be honest with you, when I first moved to LA, I took less than that to be like in the audience at different game shows and shit. You know, just to,
Really?
yeah. Like I didn't work at I think it was like $10 an hour, but like when you actually worked out to like the taxes and shit, it came out to like $8 an hour. But it's still like getting paid to like just sit and watch The Price is Right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You never get called up.
No, like you're not going to get called up. Like,
Okay,
that's not
okay.
like there's a pool of people that get called up, and then there's like you're just seat fillers.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been invited to do like more.
They don't even put your name on there. Like I'm Cory. They put like Jeff.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
shit.
just make stuff up. The more Povich shows are just even more scandalous. So like this woman, her husband thinks her boobs are too big, and you should be at the show. Like, all right, fine. How much is it? Jesus Christ.
But it's like
Do I have to be in the audience for this? Like
I wasn't gambling that money though. It's like I desperately needed that $40 that day.
yeah, I mean, you know, we've all done, you know, LA jobs like that where it's like, hey, you know, just show up today and it's a game show about, you know, something ridiculous that you would be embarrassed to be seen on camera doing.
I haven't had a taste of that yet.
Oh, you haven't?
Mm-mm.
Congrats.
How long have you been in LA?
I've been in LA going on 7 months, and I've just been working at a coffee shop and doing mics.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't been a PA. You
No.
haven't done a terrible.
You haven't been a PA. You haven't driven for Uber. You haven't been a seat filler.
You haven't been
You haven't
I've
been a
done
valet.
Postmates.
Oh, there you go.
You haven't been an audience member for Dr. Phil.
No, I haven't been an audience member for Dr. Phil.
What?
Nah.
Dog, you just got here, man.
You gotta do it.
Yeah,
At some point,
dude. I had to do improv as like a plaintiff on one of those judge shows. Oh, it was a blast.
You know what's hilarious? Reggie Steele did that. Like he was an actor for one of those shows, and people kept identifying him as the actual like criminal, and he's like, "No, I was just an actor."
That's what I was gonna say. That has to happen.
Pretending to be the guy. Like I'm not the guy.
I used to wonder if that happened to people that like were
It
on, like,
happened to Reggie Steele.
yeah, but like remember like those shows like FBI's Most Wanted and like Unsolved Mysteries, like the people like that reenacted the crime, like if they ever
Yeah.
catch the shit.
Yeah.
Like people call the police on. They're like, if you're reenacting FBI, you know, FBI's Most Wanted, there's a fucking reward. So like, if you see the actor, you're
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
A good Samaritan tackles him in a food court. Like, I got him.
Seriously, he's at IKEA, just like I'm just buying some furniture
Yeah.
for my daughter. Like I just did that for some money. Like guys, relax.
Come
like,
on, that was
Just
only,
gets beat up in a makeshift bedroom.
it's not worth it. It's not worth a day rate, man.
Getting beat up in a makeshift bedroom. Yeah, that's
It's
just
so fucking dumb.
But it's true. That's what happened. He's like, dude, people ran up on me and they called the police. and it's like, look, I was just in the reenactment. Like, I'm not that guy.
They're all, what reenactment? They're just like,
Shout out to Reggie Steele. But what makes that so funny is like Reggie is the absolute nicest man on the
Yeah,
planet,
he
but he's
really
like
is.
6'8", 250, so he's just imposing on accident.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's like Zion Williamson before there was Zion.
Yeah, like he's a very large, like you know, Alabama strong. You know,
Yeah. The dude just big black dude, lots of muscles. You know, so yeah,
nicest dude on the planet.
Yeah, but yeah, like old ladies were like calling the police on him. So, man,
And Reggie's smiling at the police like, I did nothing. Like, what are you talking about? Oh,
and they're like, look
Would
at
you
the
like to watch
video.
the episode?
Look at the video. Look at the video. He's like, it's a reenactment. But no, so you came to LA like 6 or 8 months ago. What do you feel like is like the difference like between, you know, the comedy scene there and here now?
I mean, back home,
Yeah.
comedy scene back home. Well, there's just so much. There's so much.
yeah.
There's so much here.
So
So many different scenes, and like it's all LA.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, don't tell me that like the Silver Lake shows are the same as shows in West Hollywood or the same as shows in Boyle Heights. They're all like
they're different.
different, and it's like getting San Jose, Sacramento, San Francisco. It's like getting them so close within 30 minutes of each other, and then it's like. It's so much. I'm having a blast out here, to be honest. It's hard because I was
Yes.
living in my car for the first 4 months of it.
Oh, word.
Yeah. I was living in my car, and just because I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do it this way. Because
You get a merit badge for that, actually. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Like,
It doesn't matter. I was like, I gotta afford. I'll never move out here if I don't do it like this.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
literally everybody that's ever made it out here had to live in their car at some point.
I can't fit in a car.
I was gonna say that's,
That's not an option for a 6'6".
It's not
Black
comfortable if you're
person.
5'8", man.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's not possible when you're over 6 feet tall. It's
I
just
understand.
not.
Well, you got a convertible. You can make it work.
I got the height thing's good. What doesn't help is like the tubbiness. I can't
Yeah.
really just fit in the trunk. If I was like 170 pounds, I'd probably fit in the trunk and just sleep in the trunk. I'd be all about it.
I'm in relatively the same situation you are, my friend. So,
You're 5'8" though.
Yeah,
Fuck, man, those 2 extra inches matter though.
they always do.
Wait. Okay, well, I don't get it. What do you mean?
No,
I'm just that was a weird joke, but
it's a height joke, but you can take it however you want.
Yeah.
No.
I'm 5'6".
Yeah, you're
And that's considered short.
yeah. Then 5'8's considered.
Is 5'8" considered short? I thought it was
5'8's
like average.
considered average, but like average is short. No girl is like, oh my god, he's so average height. Nobody gives a shit about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not.
Height on a guy is like tits on a girl.
Oh, all right.
Straight up.
I've never heard that. And let me put this to you: like most actors are really short, 5'4" to 5'8".
Let's hear it from this big-heighted gentleman.
I'm just saying that if that you have a greater chance at your height of making it in this industry, and once that happens, it doesn't matter how tall you are.
He's right. Fucking Tom Cruise is like what 5'4" or some shit. He's like very short.
Yeah. And it also helps if you're a Scientologist.
Yeah. Kevin Hart's 5'2".
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat Williams is like, I think 5'2" as well.
He's 5'2".
Yeah.
No, he's 100% 5'2", 98 pounds.
Yeah.
He's
and,
not.
And
I've seen him.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight with him.
No, he's. Yeah.
Even though I have seen him tackled by a 14-year-old. The fact is, he will fight you.
Yeah.
I've never seen a tinier man willing to put his body on the line like more than like I don't know like what's his name Edelman from the New England Patriots. Like that's the only cat I've ever seen. Like, dude, you realize that these people are bigger than you, right?
Cat is mad. He's super intelligent, but he's angry as fuck.
He's got a Napoleon complex.
Probably.
I mean, you
I don't know him, so
I don't know.
Kevin Hart does not.
No, he doesn't. No, it's why he's the best. He's the best at marketing. He's the best.
He is.
Yeah.
Have you seen his show on Netflix?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it is really good.
Really good.
It makes you feel like shit. I am not doing enough.
No, we aren't.
Even with this podcast and everything else I do, it's like I'm not doing.
Falling asleep standing up, and he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Right.
Almost a billionaire. Like he's getting close. Like he's approaching the levels of where you can be a billionaire, where they'll let you into that special club.
Like I get falling asleep standing up just as a comic trying to make like that drive.
Yeah.
But even when you think you've made it, you're still falling asleep standing up. That just means you're not done.
See, here's the scary thing though. Like back to rest in peace Kobe. Like maybe that's what ends up being your downfall is the fact that you're working so hard and you're always go.
My question is that after basketball, what legacy was he still trying to continue? Like, what are you still? I know you got your hand in projects, you got your hand in stuff like that, but I don't know.
Well, how do you? Well, I'll answer that question with a question. Like, how do you give up that level of fame and that level of excellence too? Where he
They'll never go away.
Yeah, he was the best at what he did. Like it doesn't matter if it was basketball or industry or whatever it was. Like when you get to be like certified the best at what you do, like what do you do when you stop? You know?
I mean, Jordan did it with shoes, I guess.
Yeah, but he was doing all that while he was playing, and even then, it was still like I gotta play baseball, or I'll come back, or I don't know, I'll do fashion, even though I don't really like clothes. Like he still doesn't know what he's doing. He owns a team and doesn't care.
And fucking what Magic do?
Yeah, I mean Charlotte sucks right now,
and
man.
he doesn't care.
I mean, I watched that. Did you see the Paris game? Charlotte versus Milwaukee in Paris?
No.
It was,
and no one has because no one cares.
it's embarrassing. Yeah,
That's why Kimba left.
Why do they do it? Why do they take it to other countries like Paris?
Because they can. International business.
Yeah, Nicolas Batum is French.
Yeah.
Tony Parker.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Okay.
The reason they took it to China because there's shit tons of money in another country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, he speaks 3 languages.
He speaks French, but he's Greek.
Yeah, but he's Greek, and
Greek and Nigerian.
Well, I mean, I don't understand.
Nigerian descent, Greek and
Greek,
Greek nationality.
Yeah, but the thing with Kobe, like he was already trying to bring women's basketball up, and he was trying to sponsor women's leagues and all that.
That makes it even sadder that his daughter was with him too, because she was 13, but still looking like, oh shit, we're gonna get Kobe Bryant, the sequel, and a girl.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she there's videos of her, doing crossovers and shit like that, and she's and her game was cold. Yeah. It was just, no
she was heading for the WNBA, which ain't saying much, but
right?
It's like that should be the lead. Like that should be you're Kobe's daughter. You can make the NBA.
Right. Yeah, and the way the basketball is played, there's absolutely no reason that women couldn't play with men. There just isn't. I mean, a 5'8" guard.
Talent.
Wait,
I would say talent.
No, a
you trying to
five.
get canceled?
No, I'm just saying, like, just like,
No.
I'm saying, like,
It's
I'm being completely objective here. If
You
they're,
know where we're at?
yeah, I know. I'm saying I'm being completely objective. If women's basketball
what happened?
was on
What happened?
level,
What happened?
I didn't say nothing. I'm saying if women's basketball was on the level as men's, I would gladly accept. I used to say Brittany Griner because she was like 6'8" and dunking on people. I was like, she
Yeah.
should go in the league. There
Yeah.
was a couple cats that needed a big man. Like, that's a big woman. Fuck
Yeah.
it. You know, but like, I'm all for the equality, but I'm being real on the equality. Like, we need a chick that could get out there and really put like 30 on the NBA for that to matter.
I think it's possible.
Why
I
not
think it
just
is possible, but it
spend-
hasn't happened yet.
Spend money on a unisex league and then just try it out as a test as experiment.
I'm down.
Oh, you know, that's a good idea. It's just like how the big three, where they're like, we're gonna change the rules and like
Yeah.
mess around and see
Yeah.
what we can do. Like maybe they should have a league that's like, yo, unisex. If you can ball, you can ball.
So here's my
Yeah,
issue with
maybe.
with the WNBA, just from a business standpoint. The fact that they went so hard at women was the problem, because women, by and large, just like commercially, don't really care about sports.
Nah.
Like there are women that love sports and they're devoted, but just by and large, don't really care, you know, because it hasn't been marketed to them like historically. You know what I mean? Like, we care about sports, they really don't. So if you're having a women's league, you're automatically cutting yourself out of like a much bigger portion of like who you should try to find a way to market it to men, but then you get the whole sexist bullshit where, you know, the same thing you happen when a woman gamer is online. Like, it just gets toxic instantly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
thinking from a business standpoint, like when you look at the WNBA, like it was criminal what they were paying those chicks. Like, sorry to say chicks, those women. But, you know, like, cause like they were making like less than teachers.
Yeah, but the thing
Like, but they're not, like, the league doesn't make
Oh,
money.
but-
They
but-
operate
but- but wait, though,
they operate at a loss. But
but
let me
wait, though.
finish.
I agree. No, let him finish.
Yeah, let me get to my point. Like,
Okay,
they're operating
okay.
at a loss. Nobody's really watching. The ratings are shit. There was no marketing. Like, you just, like, you turn on ESPN and be like, the WNBA finals started today. I was like, what? When did that fucking start? You know? But the reason why they were paying them so little is because they just, like, I think they're just using it as a tax write-off. And now they have to pay them more. Because I was thinking, like, just as if you're going to even bother to have the NBA pay for the WNBA to be a thing that's going to be
Yeah.
on TV and be serious and have people selling tickets to, you got to pay these women at least like what a SAG actress would get to be on TV like 82 times in a season.
Yeah.
Because that would make way more than what you're paying them.
Yeah, I just think you lose money in the league and then the league will collapse. if you
They're
do that,
already
though.
losing money. The league,
But
like, they can't collapse because they're being buoyed by the NBA, which makes billions of dollars in profits.
Okay.
Like honestly, like I think.
But how do you think that makes women feel like the only reason this league exists is because there's a man's league?
Yeah, but that's actually
that's kind of shitty, isn't
it
it?
is shitty. But like, if there wasn't a man's league, there wouldn't be. Yeah, that's shitty. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that, like, if the NBA is even going to bother to pay for that to be a thing, like, I honestly think the NBA was making the WNBA last because if it operates at a loss, it's like a business loophole where, like, oh, I can claim that on my taxes so I don't have to pay X amount of taxes. So
Yeah.
if you have a whole league that you're expending like maybe $50 million on and you're losing $12 million, then you're like, oh, I don't have to pay $25 million worth of taxes or something like that. I don't know what it is.
People aren't showing up. That's it.
Yeah.
People don't show up to the games.
Well, it's kind of like, honestly, yeah, it's kind of boring. If you ever watch WNBA, it's like,
Yeah. Ugh. Fundamentals.
yeah. So if you got a chick that was crossing people over and going behind the back and scoring 80 points on these girls, put her in the league and then make it to where it's unisex so that, like, okay, you can get a piece of the pot. Or I don't know how to make women's sports automatically, like, you know, evolve to where men's is right now. It's going to take a minute.
Well, I mean, in other countries, it's not a problem. I mean, if you look at the Olympics, you know, people show up for women's track and field the same they show up for men's track and field.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason America dominates women's soccer is because in other countries they don't let women even participate, right?
Hey, but we're the best, dude.
Yeah, we're only the best because they're like, you better keep this burqa on and shut the fuck up.
I was just about to say, like, hey, the women's soccer team, they deserve more money. But it was like,
Well, no, because the rest of the world is like, what are you even doing? Like,
Yeah.
putting pants on? Like, like that's how fucked up it
it's
is.
fucked up, but it's true.
Like, So that's why we're the best, because we let women put pants on.
And they honestly
Yeah.
they are a way bigger draw than the men's team. They're way better than the men's team.
Yeah. As far as
that's one of the
like
few
men,
things.
like men haven't even like qualified for the World Cup. Like, I mean, Trinidad and Tobago beat America.
Yeah.
Like, we took you guys out of the World Cup.
And you honestly should.
And we're like, we're not even going to the World Cup, but fuck you guys. You're not going either.
Yeah, if America beats Trinidad in soccer, that should be like if Trinidad beats America in basketball. Like, we should be upset.
Yeah.
Like, hold
Yeah.
the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
how the fuck did y'all even get this good?
Yeah,
this
yeah.
quick?
Like we were at the bottom of the whole rankings. We're like, oh, we have one last game. Oh, America? Nah, fuck them. We beat them like I thought it was like 4-0 or something like that. Like, no. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so for women's soccer, like in other countries, they don't even let the women participate. That's why they're so good.
All right, let's
nobody else doing it.
compromise. We'll put some male NBA players in the WNBA. We'll get some lady
I'm so
soccer
for that.
players
I'm
to get
so
into
for
the
that.
regular men's soccer team.
100% behind that.
All right.
100%. Can I nominate a few players?
I'm gonna
right
nominate
now?
I'm ahead of you. Go ahead.
100%.
Go ahead. I already got a couple of you.
First and foremost, as a Laker fan,
first
I
of
want to say
all-
Dwight Howard is off my list. That would have been my first round draft pick
Yeah.
for the WNBA.
Yeah.
But Dwight Howard has redeemed himself.
Okay. You were about to go to the Monarchs, Dwight Howard. But check this out. Stand where you're at.
I'm gonna put ice train.
James Harden.
Oh,
What James Harden did the WNBA yesterday.
Oh, Jesus.
That way, every time he does that shit, he gets an offensive foul. and like a sexual assault or whatever. Every time you get an offensive foul, it's a
and the ladies are like, look, you know what you did, dude. Don't pretend. Like, we saw you. We saw you.
the way he plays basketball is perfect for the WNBA.
Yeah. You swatted right at my titty. That's a flagrant. That is a flagrant foul.
Oh my god.
This is funny, but this is going in a bad direction.
I don't care. This is great. If this gets offensive for the wrong reasons, please don't cancel us. We're punching up. We're uppercutting. We're not trying to make fun of women. We're definitely fucking with some of the NBA
Well,
players.
we're like pointing out. I didn't know that because I was like, "There's no how does the WNBA make money?" Because I know nobody's watching,
don't.
nobody's in the stands, and then you telling me the NBA. I was like, "Oh, I
The NBA pays for it.
right."
Well,
Yeah.
what happens is the women that play, they tend to play overseas, like off season, and that's how they subsidize their income, right? So all the stars, you know,
Lightweight
like, they
men
all-
do that too. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of players that like aren't good enough for the NBA, but like are way better than like
No, but here's the thing.
I'm gonna go make a contractor's salary.
Yeah, exactly.
In
No,
China.
but
Yeah, you make like 500. You make like 500 grand.
Yeah.
right, but
It's not a bad living at all.
But it's different because with the men, they are. If you're in the NBA, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
But with the women, if they're in the WNBA, they still have to do that in the off season.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why I forgot the player that hurt her Achilles. She's playing in Russia. You know, and it's like, well, yeah. I mean, I made $50,000 playing for the Suns, but I make $1 million playing in Russia.
Yeah.
You know, so I
I'm
gotta
playing in
go do
Russia.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
And
so-
it's tax free.
yeah. So then ask yourself, how is it that this sport that is boring and nobody wants to watch gets paid that much in a different country?
You really don't want to dig too deep into that.
I want to know.
Okay,
I mean,
well, most sports leagues in Europe are funded by like the mob.
yeah.
I seen a whole.
Okay, so let's change
there was a-
topics.
there
So
was a-
hey, so what happened to Trump this week?
That's a whole other type of cancer, bro. You don't want them Eastern European problems.
Yeah. Okay. So
Those
never mind.
countries where Liam Neeson has to go get his family. That's the type
Yeah,
of shit.
yeah.
That's the type of shit we're talking about.
Yeah. Let's leave that alone.
Yeah. Speaking of Eastern Europeans, Trump. If you've been following politics,
I haven't. I try not to.
I understand.
I try not to.
It's like it's funny because like to bring it back to sports, like it's a lot easier to deal with sports because it doesn't fucking matter. You know, it's just fun to talk about with your friends. It's just a way to converse. But with politics, like this, your life matters at this.
Yeah.
Like this affects your money. This affects your family.
If you
this
go
affects-
in as open-minded as possible and you're going to have an intelligent, neutral conversation, then yeah, I'm willing to talk politics. But people get too emotional, and I completely understand that because if you have a stance on something, there should be emotion behind it.
Exactly.
Well, in like
Especially if your
what-
stance can
like
take
where you
food
live,
out of my mouth.
like in your hometown, like I would imagine.
There's a
you
lot
grew
of
up-
Trump supporters.
very conservative
a lot
people.
Of, a lot of conservatives.
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of farmland. There's a lot of money to be made. There's a lot of almonds. So
Okay.
And
almonds,
pistachios.
Yeah, and like a lot of
I'm familiar with the
do you know a lot of like non-white Trump supporters, like Hispanic Trump supporters?
I don't run into him a lot, but I remember I used to work with. He wasn't in Trump, but he probably would be. But he was a server because I was a line cook at this place. He was a gay server who was Republican and was against gay people being married. He like went out and he partied and he did ecstasy and he did all that shit and he like he did all the stuff. He went to the gay clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
He put sparklies on it. But when he came to work, when he talked politics, he was like, no, gay people shouldn't get married.
How, Sway?
I'm a Republican.
That's so weird.
He went to the military, and like I think there's a lot of shame behind being gay, obviously.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean,
he's
there's
just
not shame in it, but like, I guess there's shame for
no,
him.
for him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So for him, there was a lot of shame behind it. There's still a lot of religion in his mind. So he would go out and act, do like the party stuff.
He'd act it out, but then repent or be
But then, like, when it was time to, like, talk politics and talk, the rights for his people, he was, like, completely on a different side, which is confusing as fuck, man.
And that's my other issue, is that it brainwashes people to where, like, you just dig in on your side regardless of what the issue is. And, like, it's frustrating to me when there's farmers that, like, they'll be conservative, but, like, we'll try to talk about, like, hey, this policy is taking money away from your farm. But you're like, nah, just fake news. And Bill's like, all right, I can't say anything then,
I grew up in a Democratic household. So, like, my mom voted Democrat. She's just very, like, she's, like, the nicest lady in the world. So she just wants to, like, she sees that aspect of it. And, like, that's what I kind of grew up in. And so that's really what I voted in. Like, and I just started voting independent. Like, I'm just, I know it's not going to be Republican, but I'm definitely just not going to go default Democrat,
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. The funny thing is, for me, is like I went Democrat just because it seemed to be in my values, but like lately, it's just getting more and more frustrating to watch like what I feel is common sense.
Yeah.
And nobody's doing anything about it. Like it's just like
Common sense gets questioned.
Yeah.
I
like
mean,
we're debating facts, like not like
Yeah.
your opinion, like we're debating like the sky is blue, like that, and that's fucking frustrating.
yeah.
And like I've run into this tactic a lot where people where it doesn't matter whether or not either one of us was right or wrong, they just want to win the argument.
Yeah. It
So
becomes-
they'll just
yeah.
basically rope-a-dope you and keep making you explain stupid ass concepts that everybody should know as a given. But by the time you're exhausted with that, just give up.
It's been a wild, crazy presidency, though, hasn't it? Though he's been impeached. He said wild ass shit.
That was just this week.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, my opinion is I became a U.S. citizen in 2006.
That's incredible, man.
So
By the way, we have a space force too.
yeah, so for me, like, I feel like I have the right to talk to the manager because I paid for this shit. I paid money to be a citizen.
I wasn't just born here like
get
you
it.
motherfuckers.
Yeah,
I had to work to get here.
Yeah, easy for you guys. You
Yeah.
just showed up like
Went to school
woo-hoo.
with snow both ways.
Woo-hoo.
8 miles.
Like, no, we had to get on a plane and stand in line and do all this stuff. So when we finally got here and I read the ideals of America and I was like, okay, this is what it's about. And then this shit starts happening. So I'm like, no. I paid for this. This is what I paid for.
And I'm not getting it.
I'm not leaving. I'm not one of these guys who's going like, oh, we're going to move to Canada. No, fuck that. I paid to be here. Okay?
Yeah.
I hate when people
Shout
say
out to
shit
Canada,
like that.
I may need an exit plan.
I hate when people say that shit like, oh, we're going to leave. No, fuck that. Like, your blood is in the fucking dirt, dude.
Literally.
Like, so fuck out of here with
But
that.
recognize that anybody who says that I'm going to leave is never going to leave.
Oh, yeah, those people never leave. They
People who
never
leave will
they've
just
ne-
leave.
People that say they're going to leave have never left.
Yeah. I would like to find one person that was like, you know what? If George W. Bush gets elected, I'm moving to Canada. Remember that shit in 2004? What happened?
I've been to Japan. Japan was dope as fuck. I was still glad as hell to land back in America where I understood everything.
That's how people leave, though. Some people could go to Japan and then be like, "This is where I want to live."
Yeah,
and that's how you leave.
And that's
how
dope.
people
That's how
leave.
people end up in America.
Or they're shipped somewhere. They're in the military. Like, I like where I've been stationed. This is where I want to live.
I got a buddy that's like a born again Korean.
Yeah.
He's black, but he was like in the Air Force, went to Korea. He's never coming back. He loves it out
You guys remember Molly Stockholm?
there.
Yeah, she went to New Zealand randomly for like 40 years.
Yeah, oh, she's back now.
She's
though,
back
but-
now, yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's an experience.
a black Korean, though?
Yeah.
Yo, I mean, I was in Japan for a minute, and that was surreal.
Yeah.
Like they looked at me like I was Godzilla. Like,
Because you're the tallest person in the county at that point. Like that's not a stereotype. Japanese people are pretty short.
I couldn't be mad because like they woke up, they're like, I got my rice and eggs, I turned around the corner, and here's this giant black dude. I was expecting them. They were not expecting me.
You know what's in Japan? Japanese people.
Yeah.
Lots of millions of them.
The
That's pretty much it. Like 99% Japanese people.
The shittiness, there's as addicted as I am to social media, the greatness of social media is that you could see, like, there's so many expats right now living in different countries. So, like, you aren't going to be the only American. There's actually a bigger community of Americans in these Asian countries or in these European countries.
I believe it.
I want to live here, and I want to find out other Americans who live here.
Well, what country would you like to live in?
What I don't know. I haven't been to that many places. Like I've been to the Grand Cayman Islands. I would love to live in the Cayman Islands.
He's like, I'd love to live in Los Angeles. That's a different country.
yeah.
Los Angeles is 4 different countries.
Yeah.
It's
You can't-
Mexico,
You can't dress up
LA,
like
Armenia.
you can't dress up like one country and then go to the next. Like I'm not gonna dress up like how I dress up blue in Beverly Hills and then I'm just gonna go to. I'm gonna go to Compton real quick.
I'm gonna go to Little Tokyo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Little Armenia.
Yeah.
That's a different country, right?
I'm still upset that I don't speak Spanish. Like I've been in California my whole life, and being in LA, I'm like I should know this language by now because I'm exposed to it all the time. It's in the back. No, I work in East LA. It's in the background every single moment of every day.
Yeah.
I should understand this shit by now.
Yeah, you should have. Oh, by the way, shout out to Molly Slocum. She just joined.
Molly, hey.
We were just talking about you in the friendliest of terms, so
Yes.
don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, you can go to Compton, Little Armenia. You can go to Glendale, or you can go.
Alhambra. That's China.
That's a whole other thing. I mean, go to the Ranch 99 store and be surrounded by Chinese. I mean, that's what it is.
So the moral of the story is LA is segregated as fuck.
My favorite section right now is that little section of Little Armenia and Koreatown where they meet. There's a lot of noodle spots there. And I'm like,
That is
God.
That is the secret
Oh
to
my
world
God.
peace right there. Between sex and food, somewhere we're all gonna get along at some point.
And that's what LA's just hasn't failed me on.
Sex and
The
food.
amount of great food. I still got to go to Little Ethiopia. It's the only spot I haven't hit up yet, and I haven't hit the spots there.
Do you like Ethiopian food?
Mm-hmm.
In San Francisco, there used to be a spot where they exposed me to where it's like, they give you like this big plate and they have like, I don't know, this big like burrito thing and they put the food on it and you eat with your hands. It's just
Okay, it's an experience.
Yeah, it's just like, it's not the way you would think about food normally. And it was delicious, but I was like, I don't even, how much does
Talking
this
about
cost?
Ethiopian food?
Yeah, Ethiopian
Oh
food.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's all party platter basically.
Yeah, it's like
Family
there's no,
style.
Yeah, there's no notion of okay, I'll have this, and this. It's like okay, everybody orders something, and it all comes on this one plate.
You take this bread and grab the shit and eat
Well,
it.
that's how a lot of foods are now. But like, if you hit a restaurant like Mexican food's family style, Italian food's family style. But like, in order to, make more money, you got to make separate dishes.
Mexican
But
food,
that's
Mexican
like
food has
that-
definitely been commercialized.
Yeah, that's like that Ethiopia. Like I have only been to a place where it has like that, family style concept. I like that.
I like that SoCal and like NorCal Mexican food is like Southern California has better tacos and then Northern California has better burritos.
I 100% agree with you on that. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah.
But the best ones of either one come from trucks, and that's not even up for debate.
No, they come from Chipotle.
I will punch you in your.
I'm kidding. I'm totally.
I wasn't even gonna
That
get
was
mad.
the
I'm
most
like,
basic
hey,
bitch shit I've ever heard in my life.
Whatever.
How dare you? And I like Chipotle. How dare you? when I want a burrito, when I want to fake like I'm healthy.
It is a fake, isn't it?
It is
It is the Jamba Juice of because Jamba Juice isn't good for you at all.
It is not. It's a
got so much
milkshake.
sugar
It's
in
a
you.
sweet ass fruity milkshake.
I had
That's all
somebody
it is.
who
I worked at Jamba Juice. It's a milkshake.
It's just a milkshake. A lot of
There's
sorbet.
ice cream in it.
Yeah.
There's fucking ice cream in it. It's like, why is it so good? Like, ew, it's healthy. No, it's got fruit and ice cream. That's
You
all it is.
can just go in there and get a wheatgrass shot and be healthy, but you're like, nah.
Yeah.
Give me the strawberry pizzazz pazooz or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's hilarious. Quincy Johnson walked into me ordering a Jamba Juice, and I was ordering a Caribbean Passion. And he roasted me like. After, I was like, you know what? I gotta take a knee on that one. I gotta take that L.
You walked right into that
I
stereotype.
gotta take that L. I had to take the L.
I mean, of course you took. Of
The only,
course.
thing, the only thing you got, I like what I like, all right? Leave me alone.
That's like me walking out of like Buffalo Wild Wings with a bucket of chicken and a watermelon in one hand.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like you gotta take that L. Like he walked in, I was like, you know what? You got me, dog.
You remember The Simpsons where he had the hat with the chip
nacho?
hat with the nut of me just in there?
I'm upset that that's not a thing. Like I
That's
hella
gotta be a thing.
I hella want that in my next Laker game. Man. I can just get a nacho hat.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those moments for you in your life where you just realize, like, you know what? This is what
got
it
me.
is.
You
Yeah,
got
this is
me.
what it is, dog. You know.
What's the best thing you've experienced since being in LA? Have you been starstruck yet? Has anything like really cool?
I mean, I
stand
work
out?
at a coffee shop in Beverly Hills, so I'll see like like Jeff Goldblum was the only one. I'm like, oh,
Nice.
that was cool seeing him.
Okay.
That was cool. It was cool seeing him, but I was like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
he was getting the stares, and I was like, I'm not gonna be a part of this.
Yeah. But you're still like this fucking Jeff Goldblum.
But then like you go in there and you see stars that like people would normally be starstruck. I'm like, ugh. Just because she's here almost every week. There was like Hannah Montana. What's her name? Hillary Duff.
Yeah.
Hillary Duff comes in all the time. Like, yeah, so I'm seeing stars, you know, like, and who else came in? Comics have come in. Like, you guys know who Julio Torres is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
He's
yeah.
come in a couple times.
Nice.
So like, yeah, it's fine. I think the only one I'd ever be starstruck just because Chappelle. Just
Yeah.
I haven't seen him. I've never seen him live. I've never seen him in person.
I was
Well,
starstruck.
It's
when
because
I
he's
met
the
him.
goat, and it's I love what.
Well,
you know.
we're from the Bay. We saw him all the time. Like
I
he used to come hang out at the Punchline all the time, and like
He's Riggins' best friend.
yeah, Chris Reagan
Yeah,
hanging out with him,
yeah.
you know, and we used to go to the Pete's where Julian Vance used to work. So Vance would be like, yeah, he's waiting in line getting coffee like everybody else. So
Chappelle used to like
you know?
shut down the punchline.
Yeah.
6-7 hours and shit, just working shit out.
yeah.
It's his home club, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Save the punchline a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's still isn't it still like pretty much like very high on rent still?
It's San Francisco.
Of course, it's San Francisco, but it's like whatever they were trying to fix, it's not fixed or whatever.
Yeah, like
it's
San
still-
Francisco is like they pass laws, and I think San Francisco's still exempt from like their rent shit because it's so ridiculous. It's like like I'm struggling right now to find a spot out here from like to relocate, but like in the city, it's just like it's draconian because there's so many homeless people because they used to be fucking software engineers making like $80,000 a year, and that's not enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know. Even if it is, you're living in a kitchen.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
that, you're lucky to have a kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to like places like in the Outer Sunset where it's like this is a garage that somebody put some carpet down on, and,
And they're
and-
charging $2,700 a month.
right. And I was like, wait a minute, where is the air conditioning like control? And they're like, well, if it gets cold, don't worry, we'll set it up. I'm like, I don't even have control over like the air that's coming into my place.
Well, that's how a lot of New York apartments are. Like the buildings are so old, they control the heat and air, and then you'll just hear a vent come on.
Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, I'm not. What the fuck? No.
That's what you got to deal with
No.
when you're completely overpopulated.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll take care of it. Like, how do you
And
know
then-
like how cold
And
or
then
how
they
hot
build
I'm
new
feeling?
shit, and then they build new shit, and then they'll be like, okay, brand new apartments starting at a very affordable $4,500 a month.
My theory on Los Angeles is that Skid Row is going to get cleaned up, and then they're just going to put tents there to charge rent. Because we're at fucking, they're like, all right, they're already living in tents.
I
might as well
believe
charge
you,
them
but
$200 a
damn.
month.
Like the fact that I believe you is why I'm like, fuck. Like,
Skid Row will be just a section of tents of like random people. Who,
that would
like,
be
worked at a
better though.
coffee
Like
shop.
if they actually cleaned it up, like picked the people up, got them medical services, got them mental health checks and shit, and then like put them back on the street, I guess to say, and then put them under the tents. Like that would be better than what they're doing now, because now it's just fucking Fallujah.
After I got out of my car, I was paying $500 a month to sleep on a bunk bed.
A bunk bed.
Yeah, it's the hostel. They call it hostel style living.
Yeah, that is hostile.
Huh.
Like you sleep in a bunk bed. That's what
you
it is.
sleep in a bunk bed.
It's a dorm.
Hostile or hostile? Like,
It's hostile.
Depending on your roommate.
Yeah, the guy who slept on the top bunk while I was asleep, he accidentally spilled water on my head.
I hope that was water.
so
I smelled it and everything. I was like, I prayed to God.
so how do you have sex in that situation?
You don't. You 100% don't.
If you're paying $5,
Like, is there no sexual
if you are
activity?
able to get a chick to your bunk, not even your bed, your bunk,
The guy across me
the
asked.
game is crazy.
He asked. He's like, "Can I bring a girl back?" I was like,
No.
"No." What the fuck are you talking about?
Fuck no.
You know where we
We're
live.
all doing. You have way more important shit that you should be focusing on in your life right now.
Like getting out of this hostel.
Yeah, like you don't need pussy right now. Seriously, focus on secure the bag, and then
You want to know what he did?
What?
He took her to the hotel 2 blocks down where there was bed bugs. And then he was like, "Hey, yo, I think I got bed bugs from the hotel." And I could hear him scratching the whole night. And then 2 days later, I moved out. I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck that, man. I think this fool infested the whole house."
Hey
with
Paul,
bed
you might want to
bugs.
fumigate.
Fuck that.
I'm gonna go burn this.
No, I
I
kept.
love this shirt.
You want to know the best part?
I'm gonna burn this podcast down.
I kept all my shit in my car.
I don't blame you.
All I had was my pillow there. I left the pillow. I was like, I'm out, dog.
Yeah.
I took a good shower and I got the fuck out of there.
So
Oh,
I hope the tens of people still watching, and I'm using that very loosely, are using this as a cautionary tale of what it's like being a comic, because like nobody's really paying for this shit. Everybody wants to laugh, but everybody wants to laugh for free, so it's a rough gig.
Oh man, I would have to, after like a week, I'd have to figure out like how am I gonna make this work? I need to get a girl in here somehow. y'all just put some headphones on or something. I don't know. Tell me.
That's the first thing you're worried about is fucking. That's the best
Yes.
part.
Back in my single days, if I was in that
Absolutely.
situation, I'd just focus on the away game. Like we just absolutely can't come back to my crib, so
No,
What's
I'd
cracking?
be like, this is what it is.
either in the car or wherever you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
have
It's
it
going to
happen.
be a car date.
Put a pillow over your head or something, man. I don't
Kevin, you are
You can't live in a hostel. You're a savage.
horrible.
I'm sorry. That's I hope.
But that also just gives insight into the male brain. Like this, like before food and sustenance and shelter, it's like, no, I need some pussy. I gotta take care of that. Like, hey, can
I ain't even jerk off in the room. This fool over here trying to fuck in it.
I admire your focus.
Hey, where there's a will, there's a way.
And
Okay?
he was focused on the right things. I totally yes. You're no longer in the hostel where there's a dude with bed bugs trying to fuck on the top bunk.
Oh
That
man.
is the proper priorities in life, man. Jesus.
Well,
Proud of you.
man, I mean, I hope you write all this stuff down. This is gonna be like really great.
Well, this is gonna be
someday,
on YouTube.
you know.
It's gonna be on Spotify and Apple Music, whether you like it or
Hell
not.
yeah, man.
So you'll be able to come back and check this out and be like, oh yeah, I said that and that and that.
Yeah, I mean,
Because we all smoke weed. Well, you drink and we smoke weed, so we forget everything.
Good sandwich of debauchery.
yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like
We learned a lot today.
Yeah, it's been a tough.
It's been a sad, tough day.
It's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
a tough, sad day. We've laughed, we've cried, we've laughed some more. We said some very
Los
inappropriate
Angeles is
things.
crying right now.
It is. It very much is. Like
we were actually gonna go to LA Live today instead of doing this
Yeah.
show, you know, and because we thought we'd be able to go there, but you know,
Yeah.
you said it was a crazy like.
It's a
service.
crazy scene, the Grammys
Right.
and stuff, and plus it's like you
Oh, the
know,
Grammys are happening. This
Yeah,
week?
that's it.
Oh, fuck.
And it's like we
Oh.
got a job to do. You know what I mean? We got this podcast that we doing
No.
here. You know,
What's LA Live?
that's like right across the street from the Staples Center. It's like a bunch of restaurants. It's the Microsoft Theater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
They call it LA Live because I think there's an actual club called LA Live, but
Okay.
I've never been there. I'm not popular.
So yeah, so we got to wrap it up, guys.
Rest in peace, Kobe, and condolences to his family. LA is shook right now. This sucks. But you know, everything is going to continue. I mean, Trump's going to keep fucking the world up.
You just have to live in it.
Yeah,
and thanks for coming
but
on the
things
show.
are
Thanks
gonna
for
be
having
okay.
me, guys.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
really.
much fun.
Do you have anything you want to plug right now? Any shows you got coming up?
I got a show on Instagram called Punching Up at Punching Up Show. It's a show where me and Comedy Store regular Stephen Fury.
Shout out to Stephen Fury.
Yeah, shout out to Stephen Fury. We pretty much do like a mystery, like we heckle fight videos.
Ooh.
So we find fight videos online and we just talk shit on them.
I would like to publicly
At
announce
Punching
that
Up Show.
I would.
Yeah.
I want to be a guest on this show.
Okay.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Okay, punching up at what was it again?
It's called at Punch. It's on Instagram at Punching Up Show.
Okay, at punching up show.
I follow like so many
Okay.
different like fight profiles
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah,
Twitter, and they're never like okay. It's like always like oh rewind.
And you want to say like, oh my god,
Yeah, this is terrible. I shouldn't be watching this. Ooh,
but you
my
watch
face.
it.
Yeah.
And just my Instagram at Saul Comedy.
Nice.
That's all my stuff.
Kev, you got anything you want to plug?
Not right now, no.
Nothing right now from Kevin, but there is stuff in the works. So, I think it's next Thursday or the Thursday after that. I will be whatever the 6th is. I will be at Crack 'Em Up Thursdays at the Comedy Store. You can see my comedy documentary on Amazon Prime Video. $40 till Friday. It's a lot of pretty much what we talked about here, how hard it is to be a comic and some of the horror stories, and mixed in with a lot of my stand-up comedy. And yeah, other than that, you can always catch us right here on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, and
Facebook Live, of
and
course.
Facebook Live, of
Yeah.
course. Thank one person that's still tuning in.
Hell yeah, dude. Hardcore fan.
Rocking with you on a Sunday. All right, this has been fun. Thank you, Saul, for being here.
Thanks
I'm
for
gonna
having me.
Go home and smoke and cry a little bit.
All right, we're out.